All right. Well, we welcome you all this evening to Pour It Out. Pour It Out, where we have candid conversation and whatever else we may talk about current events. Today, we're going to talk about Miss She here, who has some exciting news and whatever else comes up. But it is our safe space. It's our time to connect with each other, and we welcome you into the conversation, not with the stomach out.
What?
This is a crop top. We welcome you into the conversation because it is a place where we are transparent and vulnerable, and we don't mind being that way because that's how we are in our friendship. And we welcome you in. We're here to show you and model, that it is possible to do that. And so feel free, leave comments, chat with us as we chat with each other. All righty. So I just got off with a client, so I didn't get a chance. I was supposed to have tea because I'm on a cleanse. Um, and I have to have tea twice a day. So I should have had my poured out, should have been tea, but it's going to be water because that's what I have here.
What are you cleansing? Like, is it a doctor cleanse or?
No, no, no. So I found another herbologist. It's pretty much like what Mandy has, right? You do the cleanse, and then I'm doing after this cleanse is over, I think this is a 10-day. And after this is over, it's a 7-day. It's just to get an upper colon, like get everything flushed out of your upper colon. So I'm not eating any pork. I'm eating more fruits and vegetables, more like natural stuff instead of, trying to not eat any junk and definitely not any pork.
Hmm. Okay. I've been seeing that a lot. Like, it's crazy. It's not the beginning of the year, but I've just been seeing a lot. I don't know whether it's just like me. Like I told you, just need to try to get myself together. But I've been seeing a lot of health stuff,
Mhm.
like cleanses and all that kind of stuff. My pastor has put the church on a fast.
Mm.
We didn't know because we haven't been going because Caden has been so busy with sports and we've been having to go on some Sundays. And if it's not Sunday, then we've been resting on the Sunday. So but I finally caught up with some of the messages that he's been talking about. And yeah, he's put the church on a fast too.
I never did those church fasts. Well, I can't say never. When I first started going to church, when I first, joined, I was all on board for that. But then, never mind, I'm not going to a church. We're not going, we not going there today. We're talking about something else. I don't do typically church fast now where I am in my walk. I do it if I've been told to fast, me personally. I get it, the unity thing. I understand that, but yep, not my thing.
Um well, we don't even know. Like I said, we haven't been at church, and that's what I was telling James. I was like, and then like uh one of the girls that was in my book club also goes to my church. And I'm sorry, my eyes are, the pollen is crazy here.
Mm.
But I was talking to her and, well, no, she texted me and was like, church was good today, blah, 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 blah. Are you fasting? And she texted me this like 2 weeks ago before I had watched the sermon. So I was like, why is she asking me this? First of all, like, what does she need to know that for?
Mhm.
And then she was like, I said, we fasted in January. Like, James and I took a 21-day fast.
Did the church
Like,
fast then too, or that was just y'all two?
no, we just made a decision
Okay.
to do it on our own.
Hmm.
And we said that we would probably do that. We'll definitely do that one at the beginning of the year every year.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe in June we might do another one right before summer fully kicks off. Yeah, we'll probably do another one just to like reset and like realign our goals and things like that. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, she asked, and I was like, no. And then I wondered why she responded the way that she did, because she was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, I don't know what you want from me. And then I went back and listened to it, and I was like, oh, the church is on a fast. I
Okay,
had
got.
no idea,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't think that I thought about it, and then I told James we haven't been there. So we don't even know what the stipulations are around it. We don't know if it's a Daniel fast, if
Exactly.
it's, we don't know what they're doing. So I just feel like we probably are not connected as we should be to participate in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we just decided that I know for a fact we'll do one in January. But I am interested in the cleanses and stuff. Like I've been hearing a lot about those lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I am interested in them. I just don't know how far I want to go with them because they can get really extreme.
What do you mean extreme?
Like they can get to the point where you can't get off the toilet. Some of those
Oh
cleanses.
no, no. So this late, I happened to meet a, not to say color matters, but I happened to meet a black lady here in Chicago. And I told her that. I was like, if this is one that cramps your stomach,
Yeah.
I ain't with it. Right. And she was like, I wouldn't do that to you. And I was like, yeah, right. I'm thinking in my head, right? But I said I'm gonna try it. And sure enough, it's not. It's so I used to do cleanses probably 20 years or so ago. I used to get colonics and do cleanses. And every single one of them, you was flushed. I mean, thoroughly flushed now. That but the cramps and oh my goodness, you would just be
Mm-hmm.
like on the toilet. You have to
Mm-hmm.
try to plan. Okay, you got a chance to kind of know if I did it at this time, if I take it at this time, I'm gonna go at this time. But you don't know that in the beginning.
No.
So this is smooth. It's really a cleanse that is it's gentle to your system. So I'm glad she ain't lie about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and yeah, it's working.
So I might have to get her information because um yeah, I, it's a mindset though too. You have to be ready
Yeah,
because like you said, it's not just about taking the cleanse. It's about
hmm
the saying that I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do
exactly.
that. You know.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like when I happened to just we were walking past her. It's like booths, right? So walking past her booth, and I was like, hold on, let me see what she got. And
Hmm.
so I bought quite a few things from her, something for like hot flashes and some other things because I wanted to try. I've had the liquid version, and hers is more of the. So I bought this like tea, it's the tea ball, whatever, and hers is more of the herbs, right? So I wanted to see if there is a difference in them too. Yeah. So I didn't start. I started maybe a couple days once I got it because I did have to get my mind right because I used to eat pork. And so I just knew that I do remember Mandy saying, like, don't eat any pork, right? You
Hmm.
know, and so I was like, okay, are you okay with not eating it? And it was no problem for me, right? Once I made up in my mind that I wasn't going to eat any pork, it was cool.
And see, for me, I can go weeks without eating pork. I don't have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm hungry and it's around, then I'll eat it. But I don't have to have pork. That's not my thing. My thing is sweets
Uh-huh.
and like fried foods, potato chips, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
okay. That was another thing. Yeah, like so I did buy some. I'm looking at it now. Skinny Pop. I bought some Skinny Pop. But I had it's been a little while now that I don't really eat like since I've been reading up on GMO and all that stuff. I stopped eating like, the Doritos and potato chips. I'll eat some every now and then, but that my thing is not pork. It became pork because I cooked it because Tyrone likes pork. So I was at the place where I'm not going to make two things, right? So I'm just going to have a pork chop too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I had to tell myself that no, that's not what you're gonna do. Otherwise, don't start the cleanse until you're really ready to give that
Yeah.
up. And um, I don't eat a lot of sweets now lately. Yeah, I think this week I did have ice cream and cookies, like two cookies, chocolate chip, right? And I hadn't eaten sweets for a while, so I really shouldn't be doing that on the cleanse, but hopefully it gets flushed out. But that pretty much outside of that, like I'm eating the natural foods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's something to really consider and think about. I'm being on this journey. I'm taking it slowly. So
Yeah. Yeah,
you'll
as you
get it.
should, right? Because if you just jump right into something, a lot of times you're not going to do it. You're not going to stick with it. You're not going to be dedicated to it. And that's why I didn't jump on myself when I ate the cookies and ice cream either. I just told myself, hey, you know what? You don't need any. You won't have any tonight. You won't have any anymore. You know, I'm really
Mm-mm.
working on my affirmations and being kind to myself, and so it's working.
Whew. Mm-mm.
Because
Ooh,
I notice the more you eat it, the more you want to eat it.
yes.
It
Oh,
really
yes.
is
It's
a
very
thing.
addictive. It's
Yep.
very addictive. It's
Yeah.
more, well, I don't know. I feel like it's more or just as addictive as like when people like want crack cocaine. Like when you start, because I used to not eat sweets at all when I was growing up. I just didn't, but like I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago, I just started eating sweets, and now it's like I gotta have something sweet every day, and it's like, what are you doing?
It's the
No, you
sugar.
don't.
It's the sugar. Like that sugar calls you. So like you say, I guess the thing with crack is that you got to have it multiple times a day. Now, some people do, like when they start pop, because I can remember when I used to drink Pepsi, and I used to hear people say, "Oh, my back hurt," right? When they would drink too many Pepsi. So I used to be a barber, and standing up, I would just pop a Pepsi, probably drank about five of them in a day. And I noticed my back started to hurt. And it's the sugar in it
Mm-hmm.
because the crazy thing is on Sunday, me and Tyrone looked at the amount of sugar, and this was not in the Pepsi because I can imagine Pepsi would have more. It was like a Sprite or something like that, and it was like 20% of the sugar you should have in a day, just one pop. And so if you think about it, pop drinkers gonna drink more than one pop in a day.
Like cigarette
Yeah,
smokers.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very addictive. I think an addiction is an addiction, right? Like, I mean, I could say the same thing with shopping. When I'm shopping, I'm shopping. Like, it's hard for me to not shop. So I have to really tell myself, nope, this is not what you're doing. Don't go on that site. Nope, don't open that email. It's a whole thing, right? It's the same thing as if you need drugs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. So
You
I'll be
know,
like, I need that outfit right. I need that right there. I'm gonna get it.
right now
Yep.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
that's exactly what addicts say. I gotta get it. I need a hit. You
exactly.
know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
the rush. It's the rush you get. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's the same everything. And that's why I feel like nobody can really judge anybody else because everybody has their own vice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as soon as you get over one, then it's something because we're human.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta constantly just be glad that you overcame one thing because it's gonna be something else that you're gonna have to overcome.
That's true. Right? Like even with growth,
Hmm.
okay, yeah. I might be at this space one time. And as I'm trying to grow, it's the in between, as we talked about, right? You're still gonna have something to deal with no matter what.
That's what, because I've been writing this week. I have
Good for
three
you.
journal entries this week,
Mm-hmm.
three devotionals this week, and three journal entries this week. Um, and that was what I talked about today, change, and how Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And he's like our constant that we can depend on because we're constantly changing and evolving. And
Exactly.
that's scary sometimes because when you're in the process of doing that, you know, you sometimes don't feel stable,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
But if you could just, if it, and you, and in your mind, even in your mind, you don't feel stable. You don't like, because you're
That's where it
thinking,
is for
yeah,
me. It be in my
yeah,
mind. I be off balance. Then my body be off balance.
mm-hmm,
But yeah, it really is a mind thing. I mean, I can think back to when we moved in here, so it's been like 3 months now. Um, and how off I felt because
mm-hmm,
it was uncomfortable, right? It's that uncomfortable place. It's that in
mm-hmm,
between. It's that
mm-hmm.
this is different. I'm trying to your brain is trying to adapt.
Yep, and that's what I was writing about. Like when we go through, we have to be encouraged because Jesus came before us to prepare the way for us.
Hmm.
So we don't have to be afraid and we don't have to be scared because he's come before us to prepare us and he has everything we need. It's almost
Hmm.
like I think about, you know, if the husband, like people back in the day, the husband would go, if he was going to move, he would go look at the house and set everything up and then send for the family. That's
Hmm.
like how Jesus does us. Like he goes and he sets everything up and he sends for us to come. And when we come, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem, we
Hmm.
have to rest assured that he's provided us with everything we need to make it through.
Yeah, that's true. It's just in the moment, in the
Yeah.
moment as you are um, adjusting to the change, that is so uncomfortable, can be
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. But you're right. Like, I mean, even coming here, as much as different as it was from having our own house, it's still everything was provided, right? Everything was set up, and almost like what you said for how Jesus did. Um, the room was set for me. I didn't have to move the stuff. I didn't have to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I did have to decorate some, because
Mm-hmm.
one thing about me, I don't care where I'm at. I don't care if it's 100 square feet. It's got to have some type of aesthetically pleasing something there, because that makes it easier for me to be able to adjust. So I did have to do that, but outside of that, everything was pretty much together. It was in here. It was in here that wasn't together, because for the longest it was like, I'm thinking about my old house. Like, now I wanted to sell it so bad, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then when it sold, then I'm like, I miss my house. I really didn't per se miss my house. I missed having my own.
And your comfort,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
that's, and that's life. That's what we go through.
Mm-hmm.
We experience that. That's the human in us. But I'm just so grateful that God is everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So that's a perfect segue to your announcement, if you want to
Yeah.
talk about.
So this week, has been a really good week for me. I went to school and graduated with my degree in marriage and family counseling from Liberty in 2001, I believe. And so, you know, I've been retired out of the military for a really long time now. Well, I won't say a really long time, like 7 years, 7, 8 years now. I've been out of the military and just kind of like trying to figure myself out and figure out which way I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do, all these kind of things. And I can remember when I first got out of the military, I was immediately like about to go back to work. And I had my bachelor's degree in radiologic sciences, so that's what I was gonna go into. It's a really easy field. You get a lot of certificates, and then as long as you have those certificates, you can pretty much get a job anywhere. And so I was set to be, back in the workforce as soon as we moved here. And James was like, "You literally just got finished being really, really sick, and we don't know what's going to happen to you again. So I would really like it if you just sat at home." And I was tired. I've been working since I was 15 years old, and I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
So when he said, "Yeah, to sit at home," I said, "Okay." Reluctantly, I didn't want to be home because that was just what I was used to. Again, comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled. I really struggled with being at home. And I don't think I realized how much I struggled with being home until I actually started going back to work.
Mhm.
And so one day I was talking to my friend and her mom, and Kaden was about to start this new school. And the mom was like, you should substitute teach. And I was like, I never thought about that. And I was like, but and I was asking her, like, how do I even get into that? And my friend is a teacher. So she was like, oh, all you got to do is call to school. They can tell you how to do it, blah, blah, blah. So sure enough, I called to the school, and they literally were about to have the sub meeting like a week later.
Mhm. Divine setup.
And so I go in, and it's just like, just get your background check, blah, blah, blah. You got to take these, um, get certified in like mandated reporting. You got to take all those certifications. And so I was like, okay. And so I did it. I did it all. And I was like, okay, so I just got to wait for them to call me. So they did. They called me. And next thing I know, I was like on the schedule to go in,
Mhm.
you know. And I think that that's when my passion for kids, like my true passion for children, began to reignite, you know. And I began to realize, like, I really like kids. I like working with kids. It's
Mhm.
not hard for me to work with kids. And yeah, so I did that last year, and then this year I went back and started doing it again. And the counselor at my daughter's school, the lower school counselor, which is K3 all the way up until 5th grade, she is having a baby. And so they asked me to come in this week to substitute for her. And so that's been a different role. Like, I had to look over lesson plans and everything.
That's different than what you. So it's uncomfortable, but it's probably a good uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that the thing that made me I got nervous Sunday night.
Mm.
I felt like, how school was about to start. You remember when school was about to start,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you like had your outfit out and you just couldn't sleep all night. That's how I felt. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And after that first class, it was just like, it just felt so natural. It felt so natural. I'm teaching them this week about perseverance and honesty and integrity.
Mhm.
And it's called building character. So that's what I'm doing this week. I'm building their character. And they're awesome character traits, but a lot of times if you're not taught,
Mhm.
what integrity is and what honesty is and what perseverance is, then you can't exhibit what you don't know.
Mhm.
And so it's just been like a breath of fresh air to teach them that.
Mhm.
Because when I'm in the class and I'm subbing, I don't usually teach anything. I'm just literally just sitting there. The teachers have already printed out worksheets and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So I'm just there. But I mean, this week when I actually had to like take initiative and be in the classroom by myself and actually lead a class for 40 minutes multiple times a day, that has felt really, really great.
Mhm.
I've really enjoyed it. I don't know. It's just I just feel like I feel alive. And
I.
I didn't realize how dead I was
Mhm.
until
Well, you
this.
weren't dead.
I'm
You
talking
weren't.
about internally, like
No,
for
no,
me.
no. I know. I get what you're saying, right? But you weren't dead when you were working with the kids. It just you didn't hit the vein all the way. Like it's like putting a needle in, right? And the needle,
Mhm.
you gotta, they
You got to
gotta
maneuver it a little
maneuver
bit. Yep.
exactly. But that's anyway. That's the whole purpose piece, right? So, but that was necessary. The whole thing story that you told, it was a divine setup. When your friend told you to start subbing,
Yeah.
when you start subbing, that was just the door opening. First of all, you gained favor amongst men or women, right? They started to get to know you. They saw you were trustworthy. They saw how you were with the kids. All of those are traits that you're teaching, right? The integrity, all of those things is who they would want in the position that you're in. So you really were just being prepped for this season. And
Yeah,
that's just how he does us.
yeah, and I love it. And what okay, so when I was saying that I felt dead, I wasn't now what when I started subbing, like you're saying, oh, it's almost like you said you hit something up. But when I'm saying when I say I felt dead was when I go back to talking to you about um being at home.
Oh yeah, just sitting at home or doing home housework and
I didn't realize how disinterested I am in doing that. I did it because when you're home, you're expected to do that.
hmm
But I have no interest, zero interest in doing housework. Zero. I don't
and
want to decorate. I don't want to cook. I don't know. I do want to cook. I don't want to clean. I don't want to sweep. I don't want to mop. That's not me. And I think for so long because what options are you given? You know, if you're at home, then
you're
you're
expected
expected
to do it.
to do
Yeah.
that.
hmm
You're expected to have the house clean. You're expected to have everything in order. You're expected, and to be honest with you, it literally stresses me out to have to do that.
Yeah. So you went from having to experience that, right? It was something you needed to experience. Also, you're being set up for something else and you don't even know it yet. But um you had to experience that to know that's not what I'm called to do. Okay, then let me start subbing. Okay. Yeah, I could do this, right? But this is not the height. So I'm learning that there's, different levels to purpose. And so that was not it was necessary for you to learn that yes, I'm in the zone, right? When they kick that field goal, I'm in it, right? I'm in it. But
Mhm.
that's not quite it, right? And so, but you have to experience that to know that's part of your gift. Your gifts were being used, they were being um, shown, but the opportunity came now so that you can keep going higher and higher.
And I just think that it's not enough understanding or what am I trying to say? Conversation about being a housewife and what that looks like and how that could totally be different. But also, if you don't like being a housewife, that's fine too. Like,
Mhm.
make the choice to, I don't know, make the choice to go to work. And there's nothing wrong with you going to work. I will say that if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have done so because Kaden was 5 when I came out of work.
Mhm.
She's 12 now, and I'm just now getting back into it.
Mhm.
And I would say, and I just thank God for his grace about how he's like easing me into it. It's not like, oh, like boom, go to work tomorrow, full time, no time off, blah 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 blah. Like he's truly taking me at his own pace, and I'm just so grateful that for the first time in my life, I'm not rushing anything. Like this literally has slapped me in the face.
You said she's 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 years of completion.
Mm. I never thought about it that way.
Mhm.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. So he had to do a work in you, a work in you in those years. You still were being developed, but as he completed you, now you're able to step into that next.
And I just never looked at any of it that way. You know, I just it's just his hand. And like I was saying, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have been so pressed and so like, oh, I gotta get this done. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Da, 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 da. Oh, I need to know what my purpose is, like right now, and blah blah blah, blah. And like not even focusing on what was right in front
In
of
front
me.
of you. Yeah.
And like I just remember hearing a voice saying, like, just concentrate on your family right now.
Mhm.
But for whatever reason, I just didn't feel Like that was enough.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't get to a place of just resolve with that fully. I
Mhm.
definitely got a lot better
Mhm.
um towards the
Oh.
last couple of years here. But um now that I am where I am now, I do wish that I would have cherished those memories, cherished those moments
Mhm.
way more. You know, I was so stressed out about, oh, I mean, are we gonna have enough money? Are we gonna be able to do like all the, and we never lacked for anything, Tony. Like nothing.
But why? Because you said it in the beginning. Because he set it up, right?
He did
Your
it before
husband was
me.
the one that suggested, okay, you stay home. So how would you have lack, right? There
Hmm.
is no lack when it's been divinely orchestrated.
And now my husband is like, oh, babe, well, if you want to go back to work, go back to work. Like I support you 100%. And it's like I never thought I would hear him say that because
Hmm.
he grew up with a mom that did not work.
Hmm.
And so when we first decided that I would stay at home, I was like, oh, he wants me to stay at home because this is how he was raised and this is just what he believes, you know? Um, but I truly do believe that it was about my safety. And I
Yeah.
think that now he feels comfortable with me going back out in the workforce.
Hmm.
Um, because I think that he thinks that I'm better equipped mentally, spiritually, physically, all these things
Hmm.
to just perform and just be.
Hmm.
And I don't know. And then, this year, I'm 37. So you got the 3 and you got the 7 this year. And when I turned 37 last year, it was almost just like, yeah, get ready because this year is going to be, it's going to be some completedness in this year. Some things
Hmm.
are going to come full circle for you in this calendar year.
Hmm.
And
So
I'm
you're
seeing it.
surrounded by sevens, and I'm
I'm
surrounded by eights. New beginnings,
new
infinity.
beginnings.
Yeah. Uh huh.
8, I'll be 38 this in October. So that'll be a
Oh,
8 for
you'll
me.
be 38. Okay, you're going on 38. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 37 right now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I just kept saying I'm getting so much older and I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. And the only thing I don't want to leave here and not living my purpose and not operating my purpose. And oh my God, I just really was stressed out about that. So
But
stressed out that I did not focus, like I said, on what was right in front of me. I
hmm
couldn't see it.
hmm but I think so many people do that, right? And when you just really rest, that's why you're supposed to rest in Him, because, and I probably can say it because I'm 52, and so I've been through that, right? Like I'm so at a place of, even with the whole house thing, I'm so at a place where when it happens, it's going to be right on time. It's going to be exactly when it's supposed to. I am not rushing anything. And when I first got over here, I was at a place where I'm rushing. Like, April, I need April to get here. At this point, when it happens, I know it's going to be by God's divine timing. And so, even though we're getting close, I'm learning to learn whatever it is you're supposed to learn in the time where you're there, right? So you don't have to feel like
Mhm.
you're rushed. Oh, I'm missing something. No, because God ain't gonna let you miss it. You ain't gonna miss it. You're going to show up right on time. He's gonna be right on time. And if
Mhm.
more people can get like that, I mean, it just keeps me at a place of peace. And I can't say I don't have these days, but I haven't had it in a long time. I haven't had it since probably a month after, once I got in here and got kind of my loins of what's gonna be, how this is gonna be and all that. Then I got to that place where I'm not even gonna rush it, right? Because it's gonna be even better with me just being in at peace.
And I think about you as like the purpose practitioner.
Thank you.
And I think about power and purpose practitioner, sorry. Um, and I just think about how I think that people really have to be careful with how they push that, because
Mm.
everybody is not ready to walk in their purpose.
That's true. Yeah.
Whether just me, now that I'm speaking for me,
Mm.
um, whether it be that they are involuntary, not ready, like, or because other factors are happening around they're just not aware of, or voluntarily, just like, I don't want to, I'm good. I think that walking in your purpose is, how, like, especially in churches, they're like, oh, God wants you in your purpose now, and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't want everybody in their purpose now.
Right. There's what I told you, right? I'm learning after I wrote the workbook, that, and I guess I'm gonna put it in the book, right? Because I'm in learning mode right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying, and God is showing me, revealing things to me, like things that I thought I knew. It's not enough, right? So there is healing for some people prior to. That's the whole part of HIP, right? The whole retreat. There's healing that has to take place before somebody can just walk in their purpose. And I'm not saying that they won't be in it, but they probably won't have the awareness that they're in it.
No, I'm telling you, just speaking for me, I couldn't even see my purpose behind my pain.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even, like, I'm telling you, like, it wasn't until I started working with kids again that I remember, oh, I mean, I was that girl in church on Sunday that was holding babies at like 10. I was the one that was very patient and kind and gentle with children. I've just always had that
Mm-hmm.
about myself. And I don't know, God is just so amazing. The kids just, they're just like drawn to me. Oh, hey, Miss Bailey, blah, 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 blah. I just never thought that I would be that. I literally just journaled about all that. Like, I never saw myself operating in that
Mm-hmm.
capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for it to be so obvious, because I just kept bumping into brick walls when it came to, well, this is my purpose, I know it is, and just trying to walk in that. And it's like, I can remember going from when we first met, like, transformation coach to this to that. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to figure it out even then,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I had a degree in counseling, I just never I didn't see it. I didn't see. And so I don't know, Tony, like, I just know you in this field is just going to change a lot of lives, because you provide the information for people, but you don't push people. You advertise it so that when people are ready,
Mm-hmm.
when they're feeling that push,
Mm-hmm.
then you provide the tools that they need
Mm-hmm.
to go ahead and walk through it. And your workbook alone is 3 months. So you're
Mm-hmm.
not even going to know your purpose for a minimum of 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that it's such a beautiful thing that you're doing, because just in your book, the questions that you make people ask themselves, they're not just questions directed towards their purpose, they're questions directed towards their healing
Mm-hmm.
and their identity,
Mm-hmm.
all of which is imperative and necessary before you can even begin to walk in your purpose.
Right.
And I think a lot of times, not just in churches, but just in general, people, coaches, some coaches, you know, your purpose, like, you need to find, and it's like, but it's so many steps before, like, I feel like your purpose is your reward for the hard work.
Okay. Walking in it, you mean?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
discovering it
Mm.
and walking in it, that is your reward for the hard work that you have to put into, all of that before you can even get to your purpose. You have to heal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
You got
have
to
to
know who you
identify.
are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to know these things before you can even, and I feel like people, for me, I was looking for my purpose when I needed to be looking for me.
Come on. That's it. You you own it. That's all
You
of
know?
what. Yeah, that's the truth, right? There are, and that's why one reason why I'm not pushing, because my thing is everybody develops at different times, and as you were talking earlier, well, a couple minutes ago about the different stages, that's what I'm learning, right? It is
Mhm.
not a thing for everybody at this
Mhm.
moment, but it's a thing for everybody. Everybody has a purpose, right? But when you're ready, as they say, when you're ready, the teacher appears, right? So I don't have to push
Mhm.
anything. I know the books that I have, this workbook, when the time is right, it'll go viral. It'll go to where it's supposed to go, right? But right now, I'm in learning mode because it's so much to learn. I didn't know even what I was stepping into. Like, I'm still learning about power. Man, can I tell you? I mean, like, he's really developing me in this, and it's probably because of the retreat and what he has, in store for others through me, right? Like this, I have to know for myself. I can't just take somebody else's word or what somebody else did on purpose. This is going to be totally different. It's something that it's not been taught in this way or expressed in this way. And so I'm totally fine with, I didn't put a date on it because he ain't give me a date yet. I don't know. It could be 5 years on down the road, but it'll be worth it when it happens, right? I'm not rushing anything. I'm in a state of right now, just do what he's telling you to do. Just be, right? And if so many people can get the just be, but you only can get to just being when you know who you are. Because other than that, it's a rush thing because you don't know who you are, right?
And it's the and so while you were talking, what hit me is the uh the power pushes you into the discovery of your purpose. And what is the power? The power is the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
And what?
power,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just like you were doing, right? So the power part of that is you showed up to do the substitute teaching. So it was a certain level of power that you needed for that. Now you're doing this. There's a different level of power that you need for doing that. So in every in every part of our purpose and all of it, you needed power, right? You needed the Holy Spirit. We need him all the time, no matter what we're doing, right? But the more you show up, the more he shows up. The more you relinquish you. So you have to know you. You got to know that, yes, I'm called to do this. I'm called to walk in this, but it's not by my own strength. It is by the power of the Holy Spirit. Now, if I don't do it,
Truly.
the Holy Spirit ain't gonna show up. He don't need to show up because you ain't doing nothing. But when
Millionaire, what are you
he
doing?
looking out the window, he must see somebody
I've
out there.
never heard him bark.
I know I don't know, somebody pulled up, looks like.
Oh,
Because he very seldom barks.
yeah. Mine
um
functions too out there. Whew.
yeah.
But not
he
him.
Look, he think that people really would be scared of him because of that bark sounded like he's a real big
Yeah.
dog.
Like what?
Well, he is big, but he's gentle. But you
He's a
wouldn't think
gentle
that.
giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would not think that. You would think he gonna get me, right?
Oh God. No, no,
So
no.
yeah, so I'm learning. I'm learning. You know, right now, whatever God is calling me to do, which is this learning piece, is power in that too, right? And sometimes the real power is, can you sit still in a sense? Can you not be doing this and that because you want to be seen or you think that that makes you, you know, like social media, the presence on social media. You don't have to do that. When it's time, God will expose you. He'll put the right people in your pathway, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't wield our own power. And what I mean by that is we don't say how much power we get. We
Mm-hmm.
don't determine that.
Right.
We can only be receptive when we lock into whatever the power is that we get access to. We're
Mm-hmm.
given access. It's like God is the main energy source, right?
Right.
But there are different outlets on him.
Mm-hmm.
And we're plugged into different outlets that produce and generate a certain level of power,
Mm-hmm.
and that's based off of our level of capacity, which means, like you saying, the more we let go, the more power.
That's exactly. Yep.
That's the only part we play in
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't say, oh God, today I need 25 amps. Like we can't tell him that.
Mm-hmm.
He knows exactly how much we need.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to be willing to let go in order to get it.
Yeah, we got to yield. And the more that you relinquish, relinquish your own way of doing, or this is how I'm going to do it. That's like in therapy, that's what I do. I pray, God, use me however you choose to use me. If I got to, I don't know what I may have to do, right? But I trust him because these your clients. You know what they need. I don't know. So it's really for some, I mean, I think back to first doing therapy, and it was so scary because you don't know what they're going to present with. And what they came with last week might be totally different than what they come this week, right? And so I tell God, I don't know what they're coming with, but you do, right? So, but the biggest factor is not knowing, but releasing and allow him to let it go according to his purpose, and his will. It's the yielding.
And he'll give you the power
Hmm.
to handle it. And I used to always think about that because, you know, all these things naturally, people get money and skin color and all these things that culturally are supposed to make you very powerful, you know. And I think that a lot of times we never step into the fact that yes, it's good to have money and it's good to have things, but God has a totally different way of looking at power. Nothing trumps the Holy Spirit.
At
I
all.
don't care if you have millions and millions and millions of dollars. If there's somebody who's really tapped in with God, that person, you don't got nothing on that person. I'm
Hmm.
talking about nothing. They can, and I don't know, like the Holy Spirit power, that type of power is priceless.
Hmm.
Like it's so powerful, and like you can't even measure it up to anything else.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's income, you can't. And so for me, just learning that, um if people don't have the Holy Spirit, you can't even begin to talk to them about their purpose.
See, I mean, that's the whole point, right? Of power and purpose. They go hand in hand. You could, now, I believe that you can be walking in your giftings, right? Like prior to me getting saved, I was walking in my purpose path.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
definitely.
why I deal with the gifts as well, because all your gifts play a role in your purpose, like
Mhm.
as you look at what you say, when you were younger, at 10 years old, you were holding the babies. When you go back, you start seeing all of this really happened. What do you say? Before I formed you in the womb, right? And so when you get out, then if parents really paid attention, a lot of times they would see, oh yeah, they're really gifted at this. It's kind of like what y'all do, right? Y'all
Yeah.
see Kaden, and sometimes you may push her in other areas, which is good,
Hmm.
so that she tries and she gets to see, hey, this ain't it, right? Like, yeah, this just ain't it. I'll try.
Basketball was not it. Sorry.
Mhm. Okay, right? But you need to try different things. That's the same thing with adults. We need to try things because sometimes
Mhm.
as a child, it wasn't developed. It wasn't even a thing to look at. Some people think children need to be in a child's place. Well, that child will never be exposed. I can't say never. They will be exposed, but they
But
won't
later on,
know. Yeah, they won't know that this is why I'm doing this. I think about when I was little. One of my favorite pastimes was playing with Barbie dolls and dressing them up. So I had a friend, or me and Cheryl had friends, right? And so our two friends, hold on one second. Who is that? Uh, look, you can't just come in. Take him with you. Close the door, please. Harley, close the door. See this part, right? Like, how do you?
You
Yeah,
just keep on going. You just what
yeah.
did you watch Dave Chappelle when the episode when he was interviewing about Darth Vader or something, and he was like, cut the cameras," and Dave Chappelle was like, "You just gotta keep rolling."
I didn't see that one, but you're right, right? Because that's a part of life. Like it's not always gonna be perfect, right? Things happen, interruptions happen. How do you recover? That's the thing.
You just keep rolling. Yeah.
But
Um.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what I was saying.
I don't know either. I lost it because
Oh,
I
I think I
got
said,
I
I
got
think I said, oh, me and Cheryl used to like going. We had two friends,
two
right? And
friends.
so
Yep.
they liked playing with Barbie dolls too. So we would have like Barbie doll dates. They had so much Barbie doll stuff. They had Barbie doll furs. They had Barbie doll, yeah, I'm talking about furs, baby. Like, and then I thought back as I've been thinking about and doing this whole reparenting self and getting the little child. I said, that's where my thing for fashion, one of the spaces of my thing for fashion comes from.
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
it was so it was like weird to me, like I never even realized that until I started actually working on that stuff.
And like you were saying, it's very important for parents,
That's
to
what I was saying, yeah.
help them explore where they are and where they're trying to go and all those kind of things. Because, I feel like if you don't, you set your kids back.
Hmm.
Like it's some kids that as soon as they graduate, they know what they're gonna do because they've been walking in that their whole
Yeah.
life, you know.
Mhm.
And I'm so proud of Katie. She actually just did her schedule for 7th grade. Oh my god, I can't. So
I don't even remember that.
she just did her schedule, and I
She
always
gets to pick her
encourage
courses.
her.
Okay.
Yeah, and I always encourage her, like, we know you got sports locked down. We know you got softball locked down. We know you're very athletic, very strong, all these things. But I really want you to think about trying other things like drama and art and all these things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so she did. She tried art this year and she actually really likes it. She actually signed up to take another art class next year. And she signed up for a drama class. I was like, okay, Katie. So I'm proud of her for not doing I'm doing PE. And like she really is stepping outside of the box.
Hmm.
And I'm just really happy to see that because, like you're saying, if drama doesn't work, listen, boo, it's free. It's fine.
That's
Get
right.
through it, and you don't have to ever do it again. But you might be the next Viola Davis, and you don't even know it because you
That's
won't even try.
right.
You
That's
know?
right. Or you weren't exposed to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm proud of you and James for doing that, right? Like really being so involved, because if I could go back, and I can't, right? I mean, it just is what it is, and I'm grateful that unfortunately my daughter really is struggling with trying to find her walk. My son, he's 32, and he just really, I tell you, God will set you up, because I told both of them. Both of them are so well. So my son is he loves animals. He he you going to Florida and you gonna have all that land. Y'all just need to get some animals. I said, that's your thing. That is not my thing. Stop trying to push that on me.
Like,
You
wait, what
you
kind of animals?
girl, he love any kind of animals. He want us. Y'all gonna
Like
have
a farm. He wants y'all to have a farm.
basically. It ain't happening. I told him I don't know why you keep talking about it because it ain't gonna happen, right? So,
No.
he but he is so good, and my daughter is good with kids. They
Mm-hmm.
both are good with kids, and my son, I knew that he should be doing some type of, I said I thought it was like an exercise program for the kids. So somebody found him in Hawaii, and now he is, right now he's volunteering, but he's doing younger kids basketball. He's teaching them basketball.
Nice.
So
Is
I
he the
told
coach
him,
or the trainer?
um, I think he does a little bit of both.
Nice. That's good.
And I told him, I said, your purpose will find you, right? One thing about it is you can try not to even do it. I mean, it came to him that it came to him. So it's a whole setup, right? So his girlfriend moved from Connecticut, moved there with him. She has a, how old is he? About to be 10, I think, 10 or 11. And so so my son puts him in all the stuff. He works him out, all the stuff, right? So he happened to be on the team. And so then my son was just volunteering, was just helping. And then the guy
Mm-hmm.
came to him. It's just the setup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I told him.
It
You know,
is.
yeah. So that, exposing them at a young age, I really wish I had taken advantage of that.
Yeah, but sometimes it could be a downfall too because like I look at young actresses and stuff that get exposed to that young, and then they feel like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and then they do it, and then by the time they're 20, 30, they're burned out.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I think it has to be a healthy balance.
Yes. Yeah.
It has to be, and like Kaden loves softball and we love her playing it, but we've always told her like when you're done, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just going to quit automatically. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
go through some processes with you. But if, as much as we love her playing softball and as great as she is, if she comes to us and says, I'm just not feeling it anymore, she did start it when she was young. She was like 7 when she
Mm-hmm.
started in softball. And so I just don't want her to get burned out. And I don't want her just continuing to do something because it's all she knows.
Or she thinks that y'all want her to do
Right.
it. Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want her to have any type of restriction
Mm-hmm.
at all because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if you feel restricted, then you're missing out on the purpose. You're missing out on what's out there for you, which I guess I shouldn't say missing out. You're delaying it in a sense.
I get what you're saying, but the truth of the matter is you're not.
That's what I was saying because, like we said, everything
You're
comes full
gonna
circle.
arrive at when you're supposed to arrive at it, right? It
Yep.
seems like that, but yeah, in the end, she won't be missing out. She won't be delaying it. She will be exactly where she is supposed to be.
And I'm excited for her. I'm excited because now that I'm older, I see how everything comes full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a lot of full circle moments in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm almost 38 years old. And it's taken me this long to see full circle moments in my life.
That would let me knock knock knock. In your 30s is where full circle moments start. They don't start in 20s.
And I had like Tony, I I totally see that now that
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking through it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're 12, it seems like life is never going to get started. And then you get in your 20s and it's like, I don't really even care. This is the best time of my life. And I'm just doing whatever I want to do. And then you get your 30s and you're like, what have I been doing? Like,
Yeah, that is truly like an eye opener. Like, hold on, wait, I need to get serious about this thing called life. Yeah, and that's
super
why,
serious.
if you think about that, right, that's why you have the eye opening moments because you start embracing. There's a difference here. right? I'm no longer this little kid who can do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it. I can't do all the stuff that I used to do. No, I have to start being intentional. And that's why it like you start opening up. Your mind starts opening up to that. And you
And
ain't seen
yeah,
nothing yet. You wait, baby, 40s. Yeah, 40s and I mean, but they get better and better. And people who are older say that, right? I think when you're in your 30s, you're like, yeah, right. I ain't trying to get there to see. Like, I don't want to be 50 something when you're 30 something. But I promise you, it's like the best thing ever.
if you choose to embrace it, I
If
think.
you choose. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because it's miserable 50-year-olds.
oh, I'm sure. But they're not doing for themselves and they're not doing like they're supposed to. Honestly, like the working out piece is one of the best things that I think that really helps me to be grounded and be comfortable and at peace with myself. Cause I may be 52, but I don't feel it.
That's amazing. And I keep saying it, but I really need to be getting myself motivated to get a real workout routine. Like James and I told ourselves we're going to go at 4 a.m. in the morning, and that is a long day. Waking up
It's
at
not
4
realistic.
morning, going to the gym, working. It's nice because the gym is not packed,
Hmm.
but it's not packed because it's
It's
not
4 in the morning.
people. Yes. And I'm so like I get up because it's not like I don't want to go to the gym.
Right.
I just don't like getting up that early to go to the gym.
I know. Ooh. I did. I used to do like 6:30 on I think on so I can't remember when I first started. And it was too much for me. Like going to the gym that early. Nah, that's not when I'm my best. My workouts now I was fresher because it's fresh, right? I'm waking up, I'm hitting the gym, but for me, and maybe it's I've gotten comfortable with the time that I go, that I just enjoy the time that I go. I don't know.
I don't want to go to the gym until probably like 10 or 11 o'clock.
And that's when nobody's in there.
I want to go at that time and I want to just be in there and I want to do everything that I do. But even in the mornings, because I'm half asleep, I'm like, we're going to put the treadmill on 2.5.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, because I'm trying to wake
Mhm.
up.
Yep.
It's just too much.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, is this even beneficial that we're coming in here? Because I just really am just I'm going through the motions.
Right. Yeah, I think you have to find what fits for you. And again, that's trying it. I mean, that's what I had to do. Like I say from the beginning, I had to try it. I tried to go on a Saturday. Saturday ain't for me. I don't
No.
want to get up on that's one day I don't want to get up and go to the gym. Saturday or Sunday. I'm not going to no gym.
Well, the weekends are not ours right now in this phase in our lives.
Hmm.
So I don't even consider the gym on the weekends. But definitely throughout the week, I want us to start making some time to go at some point because I think that we need to get that as a routine regular. I just this week alone, just being able to sit down and read, listen to sermons, write, that has put me in a totally different headspace being able.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And that's not even all that I'm trying to do. I'm
Hmm.
still trying to make sure that I get the physical piece in there too, some type of way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But remember that you're on a curve right now because the curve is just starting this new job, this new position. So give yourself time to adjust to that. Sometimes what I found is we put too much on our plate at the same time, right? Knowing what I'm learning at this age is that, well, and it could be the age, right? Like I can't take on all these things at once. That's like over. That's why I think a lot of people get overwhelmed because you're taking on so much all at once. It your brain is trying to make these connections, right? Give it space to make connections about this one thing. Okay, I got this down. Now I can implement something else. That's just how
Mhm.
for me. I can't say for everybody else, but I'm learning myself, and I'm learning that I work better that way. Sometimes I may be able to do two things. Like the affirmations is one that I've been consistent with. But like adding two heavy things, nah.
I'm realizing that that's not an age thing. Well, maybe it is, but I don't think it starts at your age because I'm realizing that too about myself right now.
Okay.
I'm realizing that I have a very full plate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I also am realizing that I can't do it all. I have
Mm-hmm.
to have very low maintenance friendships right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I can't handle that. I can't, I will do it because it's just in me to just do until I'm like, you know. But even down to like, I told James, I was like, look, I'm working now too, you know? And it's crazy because, the last time I was working, I was in my 20s. And now in my 30s, I'm like, I see exactly why I went down
Mm-hmm.
because I was working all day and then I was coming home. I was washing all the clothes, ironing all of Caden's clothes for the week,
Mm-hmm.
going to church about 2 or 3 times out of the week, like
Yep.
just going. I've
Mm-hmm.
literally burned myself out. And
Exactly.
let me tell you something, Tony. I can't do that anymore.
No. Well, you're wiser now, right? I mean, with you saying that, I thought about that too. Like, I would love to be the church that I'm going to join in Florida has so many amazing things that they do all throughout the week. Wednesdays, he always brings in a good speaker, and they're talking about either finances, they're talking about singles, they're talking about marriage. It's like a lot of good topics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I get there, no, no, no. I know that I cannot, and Tyrone reminds me, you already got a lot on your plate, So I'm I'm grateful for that because I could have a husband who like, I don't care if you're here or not, right? Go do or go make the money or blah blah blah. But he like, you know, no, you don't have to do all that extra stuff. It be me. But I'm talking to myself beforehand because I am one who, if I take something on, I like to complete it. So I'm telling myself Sunday, yeah, I'll go to church. If I do, I do, right? Like I may even watch it even if I live there. But it's not some things, it's like learning to prioritize and then balance. Knowing that on my plate
Mm-hmm.
I need to have some vegetables, I need a
Mm-hmm.
protein, I
Mm-hmm.
need to have,
A
a
dairy.
salad,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but not, I don't need to have a whole plate of greens.
No.
I got to have other things with that. And I know that I'm a person who likes to do a lot of things. So I really am being conscious about that.
You know what I just heard?
What?
It's filling you up, but is it fulfilling you?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, especially when you're trying to like fill a void,
Mm-hmm.
you'll just take everything in. Like I
That's
just
true.
want to do this. But you have to understand that may be filling you up, but is it bringing you life? Is it fulfilling you? And I'm learning that in this season of my life, like you're saying, choose what you sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'm learning on the other side of that is not only do you choose what you sign up for, but you also need to not sign up for something that does not come with the expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I say that because with us being the type of people that want to, oh, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that. If you don't have an expiration date, that makes you locked in and less available for things that you might need to get yourself involved with. So if you sign up for something. Oh, I'm gonna take this old lady and I'm gonna take her to the grocery store, blah 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 blah. And you don't say I'm only gonna do it on Mondays or I'm gonna do this for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 years come by and you didn't get who knows how much stuff you passed up
That's true.
because oh I gotta do this with such and such. I'm not saying that if you have a more flexible schedule, then yeah, you can do that. But I feel like people that are busy, I don't think you can do that. I think everything has to have time limits on it.
Well, that's good that you say that because, I think I want to do ministry, some type of ministry, at the church. I say that. But
Mm-hmm.
when you say it has to have an expiration date, if you're the leader of that, most times there ain't no expiration date. They're going to, I don't want to say it like that, but they're going
And
to
that
use
get
you.
burned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to use you because oh, she already running it. So let her keep running it. Because if she don't run it,
No.
then who's going to run it? And da da da. Right. And
Nope.
so that is my thing. Like I could see myself doing several things. This church is amazing. Like they got some amazing stuff, but I'm not locking myself into that. I'm not going to get stuck in that because I just want to stay open. I want to, and I want to grow my marriage too, because I know my husband ain't me. When he could get here, he ain't here yet. He said he was gonna be here at 7 o'clock. He ain't. That's why I'm still on here. But when he get here, he want his time because
Yeah.
we've been gone all day, right?
Yep.
And then he'd be like, okay, it's our time, and I can respect that. I
Yep.
appreciate that, So I know a lot of ministries they want to meet for this. You got this meeting for this ministry, and now you got to do the actual ministry, and then you got to do this, and they see that you're good with this. Now they want you for praise and worship and all it. No, nope. That's why I'm right now, I am talking to myself and telling myself because I know how I could, yeah, I see the vision and I'll be like, yep, I can do that. And then,
You caught up. And in things like that, a lot of times, like you're saying, they because then it'll be oh but you're a servant of God and all these
yeah.
things, and so it's not as fluent like with us.
Mm-hmm.
We're very fluent.
Mm-hmm.
You come
You can
next week and say
change,
yeah we
flexible.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
we're very flexible, very much so, like oh we can move over here, we can like last week we were on Thursdays, this week we're on Thursday, some days we're on Wednesdays, some days we're
Exactly.
in the morning, some days we're
Mm-hmm.
like I have to be able to operate like that now in my
Mm-hmm.
life. I
Mm-hmm.
have to have people to know, okay, this is our standing time, Wednesdays at blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But life be life, and so if it be life too much this week, we might just have to do it at this time. I
Yeah.
need people that understand that right now. It's
Guess
not
what?
I don't want to do things. It's
Mm-hmm.
because it's that I need you to be flexible enough with me to understand.
Mm-hmm. Last year I wasn't there. Last year with doing Tony Talks because it was just starting, I was extremely rigid, like 6:30 in the morning. It has to be this time. It can't be a different day. I just told myself that today. I said, look, I'm not burdening myself down with what I don't get done. If I
Mm.
don't, I have different. So Mondays, I have mental health Mondays, and then we have our thing. And then on Fridays, it's something sometimes. But last year, I would have beat myself up about that. No, you're supposed to be on at 6:30 a.m. No, I understand now that okay. So if I don't do it, what?
It doesn't, because it I think sometimes you feel like that messes with you, like your character as a person,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
consistency piece and all that. But I just also feel like if you don't give yourself time to be a human,
Yep.
then consistency is going to eventually go out the window anyway because you're going to get burned out.
Yep. Yep. And that's why I said to myself, I was like, you okay? Do what you can do. Right now, you're in a different space. So I just see myself like, you know, last year was the start of this, but I also am being tweaked because
You have grown a lot. Yeah.
well, I appreciate that, but I
Yeah.
didn't see it until and it takes time to really be able to sit down and see your growth. If you're always doing something, you can't see nothing. You just
Yeah.
know what you're supposed to be doing. No, I'm not supposed to be doing anything but be me, right? But be.
B.
Sometimes just be. You don't have to be doing all of this stuff. And I'm so glad I'm on YouTube because I just feel like a greater expectation on Facebook. I feel like they pull on you, pull on you, pull on you, and don't give you anything. Here it is you do it because this is what you want to do. This is it's not a thing of I'm expected to be on. I don't even know how to describe it, but last year with the Facebook thing, it was just totally different. It was a and it could have just been inside of me thinking that, but I just felt like the people was, they just want take, take, take. And then if you don't show up, well, you wasn't giving me nothing anyway, right? So, but if I don't show up, it's a big deal, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so glad, it's on YouTube. I feel much more relaxed. I
Hmm.
feel like if nobody shows up, okay, so
No
what?
big
But
deal.
right. Yeah. I just feel like I can be me.
Yeah. And it's not so much like you said, the expectation or oh, it's just I feel that too. Even though James and I do our live on Facebook just to do it on there because we can't go on YouTube yet. We don't have enough subscribers to just do our live on YouTube.
No, how many you have to have?
I think you have to have 50 or something like that.
Okay. Oh
And
yeah, yeah, I
so
remember that. Yeah.
yeah, and so we still do it on Facebook. But at
It's
this
a good
point,
way to build
it's
people.
build
Yeah.
your fans and
Hmm.
your subscribers.
Yeah.
And so that's what right when we get our 50, we are gone. We are
Yeah.
not on Facebook
Yeah.
anymore. We finally came up with our date. Right now, Mondays works so well for us.
Okay.
So we'll be doing it Mondays between 6 and 6:30. Um, and I just and we are getting a lot of hype from a lot of softball parents is where we're getting a lot of our feedback from and with.
Hmm.
So, oh my gosh, we have so many topics from dating to like how do you just um balance life with an athlete. So I do think that we're going to be parents of an athlete
Okay.
and just talk about what it's like being the parents of an athlete. What do we go through, especially with a girl athlete? Um, and we'll just see where that takes us right now. That's just where we are. We've been shifted into that.
But
And
that's
mhm,
good because Myron just talked about, and I learned something because one thing I learned is that so the questions I was asking, he's asked questions for your audience. Don't show up and talk about yourself, right? You
mhm,
should be targeting your audience. So now you know your audience. If that's what they need, they're going to show up because they know that's what you're going to be talking about.
right.
And so that's why lately my questions that I put on just this week, because I just heard him talk about that and it made so much sense. See, like, they don't care about you. They want to know about their stuff. They want you to
And
be
how you
able
can
to
help
talk to
them.
them. Right. And so
Yes.
I was like, oh, I don't even, that was just like so profound to me, but it was so simple, but yet it makes so much sense because I'm trying to give all this information that people don't even want to hear it.
No. I mean, they do, but
Not really. That's not really what they want.
and and I was talking to even to some teenagers, with my through my mentorship program,
Hmm.
because I was just trying because TikTok, I don't even understand how it works. I don't even know how
I
there.
know, right?
Like I'm on there because supposedly it's the thing to do. I don't know. I'm just on there. I literally probably have 5 posts on my TikTok page. I have no idea. A lot of them are because my daughter, her friend, begged me to videotape them and them dancing and put it on there. So that's what a lot of that is. And so I was asking them, I was like, what is the thing with TikTok? You know what they told me?
What?
I don't have time to sit down and listen to a 30-minute speech.
Yeah.
TikTok, especially when they do the algorithms and they see what I like, I
They
just go
keep.
through clips and clips and clips of different material, but it takes 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it's quick. And
Yep.
I need quick.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, so y'all like reels and stuff. That's what y'all like. Y'all want, that. And I tried it with myself and I was like, you know what? I mean, the older people, especially now post COVID. Now pre-COVID, people were sitting up in their house for hours. So they'll sit there and watch something for an
Right.
hour, two
Yep.
hours. But now people really want you to tell them get right
Get
to
to
it.
the
They want
point.
to get
Get to the
right to
point.
it. They
Yep.
want to get right to it. And I'm like, okay. And you are more captivated when people can just say boom and you feel it and it's profound and it's like, yes.
It's true.
People's attention span is not there for
Th-
that.
That's true. That's true. And it's almost on. I don't know why. Like I love Instagram now. I don't really like posting my stuff on Instagram, but I love the real aspect. I love. I just. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. And I look at sometimes it's only 5 seconds. Like this person came in and conquered that
And
quick.
and that's what I'm saying. For me, Facebook now, because I just literally got back on social media maybe 2 years ago now, and I was out of the loop for like 6 years. And so I remember when I got back on Facebook and stuff and Instagram, I got all of it. I was like, but why do we have to have so many different social media networks? And I was like, oh, because this is really like I'm starting to realize for me, Facebook is about um your family, your friends, updating them about your life, if that's what you want to do. Um and then also getting followers. Like you can get followers from Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, those are informational. Like you need to be pushing information, like whatever your niche is,
Mm-hmm.
you need to use those as your resources. So I'm gonna disconnect because I right now have my Facebook and my Instagram connected. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to disconnect them because I want my Facebook to strictly be about my family. And I will put different things on there, to let people know that I do this. But my Instagram page is getting ready to be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
My TikTok page is about to be everything. My TikTok and my Instagram are going to directly be connected to my YouTube content.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too because the two things that I'm going, that I'm really well, I mean, it's three things that I'm going to be dealing with. And I'm like, I can't be running all these different pages, but I do know like Facebook, my actual personal page, I got a business page. So I got one on Instagram. So that way, if I post on Instagram, it automatically goes to my Facebook business page.
Business. Mm-hmm.
But the personal page, I haven't really been posting a lot on there because I'm like what you said, I'm not trying to use it for business purposes really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I got to figure out like how do I, put the like thrifting stuff and then the power and purpose and then therapy, like that's a lot because then that's like three different. I wanted all of my so TikTok, Instagram, and
YouTube.
maybe I don't know. I wanted them all to coincide. So my name here be here, but then I would have to have three of those.
Well, I don't think so. I think that what you do is because you are a fashionista, you are a power and purpose fashionista, is what
So
you are.
I'm gonna have them all under one.
And you're going to, because like just you dressing like you dressing lets people know that you're a fashionista.
Okay,
So you
so
don't have to like advertise that like that. You could just come on there with dressed up how you're dressed up. You can do you could do something about your purpose, and then you can talk about like, okay, this is what the girls told me. They
mhm.
said this girl tells murder mysteries while she's doing her
Oh,
makeup.
makeup. Okay.
So
Okay.
you have to figure out, how can I talk about power and purpose by also saying getting dressed. Like, you can get dressed with me, but I'm talking about my power and purpose, something connected to that while you're getting dressed.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was trying to figure out. I said before because I have the name, that I want to use for like well, basically for my fashionista piece. But I was like, how do I don't know which way to do it. I don't know which name to go under. I,
And you could do and
it
I'm just hearing it like the power and purpose, uh how was I trying to say it? The power and purpose, or the purposely powerful um fashionista.
But then what about the therapy piece?
Well, when you're talking about power and purpose, that automatically locks me into, something therapy related.
Okay.
Because you have to understand that, how can you even talk about that if you don't have a background in therapy?
You think power and
Yeah, the
purpose?
way that you're gonna, yeah, the way
Oh,
that you're gonna
oh,
talk,
the way I'm
yeah,
gonna do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
you're gonna have on your "I'm a black therapist" shirt.
Hmm.
It's not gonna be hard to miss.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So they'll know that that is the reason why you are able to talk so in depthly about power and purpose, because you are a therapist.
Yeah. So I think that it'll come even more clearer the more I'm able to do it. When I'm able to do it,
Just do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just do it.
I can't do it here. There's no room, or I can't even. Yeah. Like so I'll probably wait until Florida to really just be able to change, make everything coincide. Yeah.
Yup. And I think that'll be super cool, especially if you do that get dressed with me. Cause you'll lay out your outfit, and then you could be talking, and like, of course you won't be naked, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll have pieces on, and like just putting like your nails
Mm-hmm.
on, and your pins, and like your glasses and all this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then you like, okay, now y'all. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you get your
Mm-hmm.
glasses on, be like, okay, now y'all. And that'll be like towards the end of your message.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
what kind of glasses is she gonna put on? And then
Mm-hmm.
you need to have some type of statement when you put them glasses on. You need
Oh,
to have
say
some type
something
of
like
statement.
yeah,
Yeah,
attached to right. Okay, now we
yeah.
getting it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now we get ready to get to the nitty gritty, or
Mm-hmm.
something you say.
Right.
Yeah, I like to hook people. That's what I'm realizing it's truly all about.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you gotta have something. It really is like your mantra, or you gotta have something that they know and learn you by.
And you do, and then you have to speed it up a little bit. Like, you can't do real time. You gotta speed it up. Like, you know how you can speed it up in the reels.
Yeah, I don't know how to do all that stuff. I really need to hire somebody, but I guess if you do it, you'll get better. I know on TikTok it's easier to do that. Like you
Yeah.
could stop, then add another one, add another. But I don't know about like on Instagram and all that stuff.
I'm just now realizing what they all are for. I'm telling you, so I'm like right
Yeah.
there with you. I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm getting it now. But yeah, you made a good point too, though, to leave your personal page as that, and then just start a whole new page with just for social media content.
Hmm. Yeah, my business page. I'm just going to use that for, posting whatever business related stuff, power and purpose, therapy stuff.
Therapy.
I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I may
Mm.
ask. I think I'm going to put my question of the day on Facebook, but it's not going to be like, and maybe it ain't every day. I'm not even going to tell myself that, but whatever question I ask, I'll put it on there. But I'm not pressed to, post on my personal page on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to understand it now. And just learning how to separate that. So it's going to be an exciting time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like I say, I'm in a learning space. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We
all
both
of it.
are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. An hour and 29 minutes later.
Yep. I think last week was 131
Okay.
because I looked at it. Yeah, I think I looked at it when I made the StreamYard thing. Yeah, 131.
Mm.
I mean, we can't. I don't know if we can get around it.
No, I think this would be the only thing that because even James and I was like 30 minutes and we're
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
So we do 30 minutes, but I mean, this is just us talking. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like, and then I heard this lady say, you just give them a little bit, right? You give them a little. 30 minutes might even be too
too
long.
long.
Yeah, but you're giving out, right? That people are pulling on that, and people will look to that, and people, won't even want to pay because you're giving 30 minutes of content,
Yep.
and that's the unfortunate thing. It's so much information out here. People will just jump from this. Oh, this person come on at such. I'm gonna watch them, and I'm gonna get my little bit here, and I'm gonna get my little bit there.
It's a fine line that you have to try to find
Yeah,
with not with being too long, not being long enough.
yeah, yeah,
Like, how do you what's the hook to drag them into it, to draw
yeah,
or draw them in,
yeah.
all that stuff. You have to have some kind of mindset around it.
Oh yeah. And then that can be daunting in and of itself. Like, the whole content creation, like
Hmm.
creating something to capture their attention. It's a lot, you know.
It is. Child, way past me. I'm telling you, James gonna have to get it because I'm not a creative person like.
No, you are, but you are more old school, I think. You are like the
Hmm.
writer, which
Hmm.
that's more me. I'm more old school. I like to put content. I like to do in-depth content, you know.
Yes,
I don't want to just a brief second, but that's what you have to do
that's
nowadays.
what you have to do. You have
Yeah,
to. It's the thing. But the funniest thing is James is more long winded than me on our podcast, and I'm
he
like,
is.
okay,
He be
okay,
talking. He's the one who does the majority of talking.
yes,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yes. And so I'm the one telling him, all right, we gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up. Let's get started. Let's go. Cause he will
Yeah.
start on a whole new, and I'm like, babe, we gotta go. Like
Yep.
now, we have to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm proud of us. Last 2 weeks, I think we've done 30 minutes, or right at like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm proud of us, and we'll look at it again and see if we need to go down more.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, friend.
All right, friend. Well, it's been great, 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 and congrats again on your position and what's to come next.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I got to get off here so I can go. I'm a working woman, right? So I got
You
to go
so right. Yeah.
get these clothes washed. It just never stops.
It ain't easy.
No, nobody said the road would be easy.
That's right. But it's got to be done. Look, that is
Yes.
the truth. It's got to be done. So,
Hmm.
hey. All right. So, until next week, we thank y'all for joining. We'll be back next week with more Pour It Out. We always have something exciting for an hour and a half to talk about.
That's right.
All right. See y'all.
Bye bye.